Alright, hello. Hopefully, you can see me and hear me. I'll be checking that in a minute. Yeah. Bum, bum, bam, boom, boom, bam, boom, 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 bam. Alright. Boom, bam, boom, 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 bam. I should check that first, shouldn't I? Maybe me. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, cool. Alright. Yeah, for whatever reason, yesterday I went live and my mic decided off to go off. It just wouldn't work at all. So yeah, what can I tell you other than this is my life now? I guess. Um, well, this is stream number 70, so I guess that's cool. And it's kind of cool the fact that now we're at that current stream. And let's check this one. Should be working, but it's a little bit finicky now. Okay. Alright, how about this one? Yeah. Okay, how about this one? Yeah. Anyhow. Also the light. Like, I don't I get frustrated by all this stuff. Maybe I shouldn't. But it does upset me. Just thinking that somebody with actual capital would be able to set a better show, like considerable capital, not like mom and pop's budget type deal. I push this so much. I'll just leave it at that. At least that looks a little bit better, but it's still, it always ends up with this greenish tint to it that I don't understand. I really don't. And also feel free to let me know in the comments if you can hear me. Yeah. Not gonna lie, it's been rough this few days. Yeah. As I mentioned in the past, I'm not one to give up easy, but it definitely feels like swimming in. Here they have a say that it's like swimming in nadando en dulce de leche. Yeah, that's how it's been lately for a bunch of different reasons. Anyhow, not what we're here for. So, if this is the first time you see one of my streams, I usually draw something. This opportunity, I couldn't find a proper. Uh, I I would say this one's proper, but I didn't find the exact image I wanted for this bird. It's I think they call it secretary bird. So a few fun facts from it, if you're interested. This bird is from Africa, and it hunts snakes with his paws. So it's like it's actually I have a sign. The word is not sign. Like it's really revered because they attach it to strength, bravery, and wits, and a bunch of other stuff because it goes against like really dangerous creatures. Yeah, it's a really interesting bird. I like it because it seems similar to the one from my country. That it's probably this one might be larger. I'm actually not even sure if it actually flies. I think it just walks. I didn't check on that, but I've seen it hunt, and it's really impressive. If you haven't, go look it up. It's cool. So also, another thing, if you wanna find this exact image, I leave the link down below in the description. If you wanna check it out, it's from Wikipedia. But yeah, let's see. Let's see how much I can get done today. As I said, it's been a rough few days, weeks. Trying to figure out my own way of doing certain things. Just trying to find my groove overall. Way easier said than done, though. Or maybe, what should I do for the intro? Let's see. That might work. That might actually work. I don't know. Did I have it? Do I have it on the freaking thing? Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. Hi, Stephanie. I didn't hear you. What is going on? This didn't ring. And it didn't appear on the thing. Did I turn something off? Okay, what is going on? And it didn't appear here. Huh. Give me a second. Oh, of course. That's why. Makes sense. I have a chat from feel free to type something if you feel like it, and that way I can see if it works. Hard to tell though. Like my whole there you go. It works. The whole what? It doesn't seem like you're being able. Okay. Enter video. Give me a second. What? Nah. This is things I go through. Anyhow. So one of the chats is not working, which shouldn't surprise me really. With you know what? I'm gonna try to not get heated and just chill. Like I'm trying to figure out if this is gonna sound super random, but I've been watching a bunch of listening to a bunch of podcasts about people. This is super conspiracy theory type thing. So yeah, if you're not into it, just I apologize. But about a dude that researched like astral projection and meditation and that sort of thing, and his investigation eventually turned into like a whole program within the government, the U.S. government. Um, so yeah, it's a little bit like conspiracy theory. Um, it's part. The investigation is part of what turned out to be the program that they show on Stranger Things for the kids. It's kind of that same realm of investigation. So that is actually based on something. So I was listening to a dude that actually worked on one of those things, and he's not the only one I've heard talk about this, but how the most important thing is intention, or one of the most important things with everything you do. Um, so I'm going to try to I don't know, keep chill to certain things, and I wouldn't say not fight it, but not mention it in a way that I might be like bringing certain things upon myself. I don't know if it makes sense. Maybe it's more related to karma than other things, but yeah. About it's like this whole manifestation thing, I guess. So I'm going to try to uh, something like that. So I have my fair share of experiences and I'm not looking to, I don't know. Like I want to manifest good things, basically. If such a thing is actually feasible. What? Who? What? Hello, Mike. Mike Jones. How are you? I don't understand. Oh, it's okay. Yeah. I do feel like I need to do like a full on exercise, like a really rough exercise, just to drain a bunch of stuff. It does feel like that, even though I'm tired, which is weird, but you can get re-energized by exercising. At least you, it's more like mentally, I think. You get recharged mentally by doing that because you release all those, I think it's endorphins. I think I need to exaggerate this a little bit more. I always mention not to get too much into the details at first, but I know I'm not gonna do the full bird. Uh, it's secretary bird. It's, if I get it, if I got it correctly. It's from Africa. Yeah, it's really interesting. Reminds me of the harpy eagle. That's what I was mentioning earlier. Uh, did it? What is this nonsense? Nonsense. Anyhow. Oh yeah. Yeah, as I said, it's not the best picture I was able to find really. Oh, I can see why this is is yeah. Uh, uh, all I'm gonna say is I'm not convinced so far. Not so good. Yeah. Well, I guess everything is a learning exercise, and I really need to practice not to be too harsh on myself. And like I'm old, or partially old already. So putting a lot of weight on the way something that you're doing turns out, it's it's I think it's unfair. Meaning for I don't know, a huge chunk of my life, I think I connected psychologically the value of myself to whatever I was able to output, and that's not healthy. That's what I mean. Hopefully that gets across. So if you do that, don't do that. Just be kind to yourself. Separate what you do from your value. Well, in some weird way, don't know how, but I was able to trick myself into making a better drawing than I expected. Even though not perfect, not that bad either, all things considered. Yeah. I still have a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. That was the last bit of caffeine I had. I was thinking that maybe because I wasn't able to stream on Monday this week, at least I'll stream on. Okay. Okay. I get that it's a joke. I don't understand it, but it's all good. I have no idea. I have no idea. Yeah, no clue. I'm lost in whatever the heck they're mentioning. I really am. Anyhow. Oh my god. Go. Alright. Quite probably what I'll do is at some point I'll change up the stream time. Or maybe I'll stop streaming. It all depends. It all really depends on how things go. Uh, but yeah. Subscribe. It's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Oh, I do try. I do try. I'll say this. The version you see before you of me is a very beat up version of myself. Yeah, yeah. But you just keep going. I think we all have to, no matter what. Yeah, I am those things. Yeah, for sure. Uh, it, yeah. Um, I'm thinking of buying a book. There's a book a dude wrote about Stoicism. Uh, but it's if I remember correctly, the book is basically a bunch of letters that one of the Caesars wrote to himself when he was still the Caesar. So he was on top of the world, but he has all those like philosophical uh, concepts or thoughts that he put into writing while he was the Caesar. And what I'm trying to get to is that oftentimes we go through life and it's like um, those rocks near the sea that the sea just keeps going at it. Uh, but yeah, yeah, it's related to the philosophy of Stoicism. So it's like a way of going through life, a belief system, or your a certain code of honor in a way. Oh yeah, yeah. I think I find it interesting because it's a way to find. I think the word is solace or relief. That this dude that I'm talking about was a Caesar. Like he was. There was at the time there was nobody above him, and still he would write things like uh, for what I recall from the person. It's a bunch of stuff. I don't. I wouldn't say I feel lost. It's more like accumulated frustration. Um, So yeah, like trying to make things work. And uh, another like I was watching this series that I think on Saturday or Sunday or something. I think it was on Sunday. I don't remember. The days get mixed up. But I think it's called Earth Abide, and the main character was saying that um, Earth Earth is always trying to rebalance itself, and it's basically it goes after the series takes place starts right before a pandemic. I don't want to spoil the series. You can go look for it, but a bunch of people end in the series uh, right in the beginning. So the main character is like doing the best he can to keep it together through all of it, but he also has like I think what made him survive or helped him survive was the fact that he was really used to reading books and basically learning. He was really eager to learn things all the time, so that was kind of his thing. And yeah, when one moment they they have this thing that they're solving, and the main character mentions something like Earth. It's always trying to. It's always gonna try to off them, basically. And the another character that appears on the series tells the main character that, well, we have to fight back. We have to fight back against it. So yeah, uh, I think life is a lot of that. Like you find yourself in a bunch of situations that are that can be really frustrating because it's a bunch of stuff that you cannot control. They're beyond your control, and basically you just have to deal with them. And often everybody would like for things to be easier, but that's why I was connected with the thing about the Caesar. This dude was at the top of the game around the world, quote unquote, because maybe for a lot of people that would be a nightmare to be like I wouldn't want to be a Caesar or uh, somebody that takes decisions for a large group of people. I wouldn't want that. But uh, unquestionably, that person was the most powerful at that time, and even him speaks of all the issues he has to deal with every day. Like I think the author was I was listening to the author talk about this, but he was mentioning like apparently at some point that dude had to order a friend of his to get off uh, because I think he betrayed him or something, and it was like he forced my hand. I didn't want to do this, but then it's like a whole thing. I there's when you see like Gladiator. Yeah, I think it's the same dude. In Gladiator, there's this Caesar that's the one that hires. Well, that hires the. I guess he hired him, or he at least he got it to that. He got him to that point. Um, the main character, the general, Maximus. Well, that general, he serves the Caesar that I'm talking about, which might be Marcus Aurelius, I think. So he had to go through so many things. If if I'm not getting everything mixed up, that movie also, I think the main character is not a real character. They mixed together two separate characters, or at least a bunch of different stories into that specific one. Uh, but the like all the Caesars, as far as I remember or I recall, they're well registered, so everybody knows which came before who in the regions order. Uh, who became the Caesar before who? Uh, yeah. So my point is that if a Caesar has to go through a bunch of BS, basically, what makes you think that a bunch of regular people wouldn't? Like, why would I think that I wouldn't, or that it would be? I think we all get this idea that, oh, maybe if I get this far along, I'm not going to have problems, or my problems. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I think a lot of us go through life thinking, oh, maybe if I get to this point, I don't have to worry as much. But I think the reality of it is that you just get a different. It's like when you go through a video game and you level up, you're still dealing with a bunch of stuff, but at a different level. Ah, I guess I just made myself feel a little bit better by bringing logic into the way I feel. And also, I know it's not perfect, but it did turn out better than what I expected. I'm not going to represent it here, but this character is it's a mom, I think. I can see that. Of course, it's not. It's. So yeah, I think we often think that there's certain situations that we feel are unfair, And I think we can all agree that there are things that are definitely unfair. Uh, but at the same time, the other part of like in what I've been talking about this whole time to a more philosophical level, I don't know if there's fair really. I think fair it's a concept that humans invented, and that's what I was trying to get to with nature. Nature doesn't care. Nature doesn't care the way you feel, doesn't care if you, I don't know, like it's a whole ecosystem. Yeah, exactly. And even then, I you could argue the fact that do everyone gets a fair trial? Uh, yeah. So I don't know. I think the other yeah, maybe that's not the best analogy, but yeah, I'll st- I'll just stay with the fact that that fairness concept seems to be just a human concept that we try to enforce, but sometimes things just simply are. You cannot affect it. They are a certain way. They can't be affected. Anyhow, I hope that makes any sense, any form of sense. I don't know if what I'm saying will resonate with whoever watches this stream. I wonder if could you read a book in English? Oh, certainly. Yeah, of course I can. Um, yeah. I laughed because when I was in the US, I went through 5th grade in Monterey in California. Uh, so what with what you're saying, I just remember a presentation, a video presentation of all things, which is quite the I don't know. It's a little bit comical that years later I'm streaming onto the internet, which was something that I never in, intended to do in my life. And I had to do a video presentation about General Grant, if I remember. Men's work? I'm going to look that up. Yeah, give me a second to write that down. Men's work by Connor Beaton. Okay. I'll look that up. Thank you. Thanks for the recommendation. Uh, yeah. So as I was saying, I had to do a presentation about General Grant. I don't remember if the information I got was from. I don't remember if it was from the internet. If it was from the internet, it was probably like very basic. But probably from it was from the library. I had to look up books about him. But I hope I'm not butchering it, and I don't want to Google it right now. But General Grant was, pardon my French, but he was a badass. Like I believe in one of his most famous things that he did was that he went through a battlefield, uh, like on the side of his horse, so he wouldn't get shot and get to the other side. I don't remember correctly the details, but it was, mind you, I was like 11 years old or something, so it was a long time ago. But yeah, it was. I did have to read a lot. Terrible writing though, but yeah, I trying to remember what was the last thing I've like fully read in English. I do read a bunch of stuff in English all the time, but books, I don't remember. So that was probably the times I had to. I had no other choice. Yeah, that was a traumatic experience for me. Like I didn't speak much English. I could understand a few words when I had to start school there. I was so scared, and my teacher, Miss Rosenthal, and she was the best. Like super considerate with me, and I was just like sitting there all freaked out because I couldn't understand a word. I think it took me like 6 months for me to start to figure out what the heck was going on. And like what I mean by that, like actually get into the classroom and start understanding what they were telling me. Like I could get the I can understand, and like the concepts you can understand in, for example, math is most of the time it is the same everywhere, but the way you explain it, it's different depending on the country and the teacher. Uh, so the procedure might be a little bit different, but the core is the same. So you would have to like figure out that that nuance or those differences, and yeah, work your way through it. It was also a really eye-opening experience because I never been to a school that you wouldn't use um, like the same clothes every day. I don't remember the name of that in English. Uniform. It's the same thing. It's from Latin. Anyway, uh, yeah, you don't have to use uniform, which I missed all the way Like I was so happy when I got to university. I was like, yeah, finally I can get back to using my clothes. The only good thing about uniforms is that you don't wear out your regular clothes, but it's so much better to actually be able to wear whatever you want. You feel way more represented, like who you are and what you wear. With uniforms, it's like I don't know. I don't miss that one bit. And also, like leaving the book under your desk. That was also really cool. Like if you do that, like if you did that where I'm from, you're not gonna find that book the next day. So the fact that the school is open most of the time, yeah, it's a different. It's way different, way different. But yeah, I'm going to look for that book. Thank you for the recommendation. And the one that I'm talking about, I haven't read it, but I heard of it on the podcast I'm mentioning. Is the Stoics, if I recall correctly. I want to read that book. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find a copy online. Probably I can. Yeah, it turned out better than what I expected. Still not finished, but I guess I'll finish it tomorrow. And yeah, well, if you have any suggestions for tomorrow's drawing, I've been trying to go through because I've been drawing like it now. It's 3 out of 3 from Africa. This one's American. Yeah, North America. Yeah, I don't know if I still have it, but I did have it. I did have Amazon Prime. Um, I'll check that out, and yeah, hopefully I can listen to it or read it. Anyhow, I'll be cutting the stream soon. I'm almost at the hour mark. Uh, I'm still upset that I didn't stream yesterday. Like this is the image I had for yesterday, but yeah, I don't know. Like sometimes that's why I was saying the thing about the rock and the sea. Like it's just if you're the rock, you can just be there, and the sea just keeps coming at you. There's nothing you can do about it. You have no control over it. But yeah, the way that sometimes things happen, you can only deal with what happened. You can not that many times you have the chance to affect what is happening. Sometimes you can just solve what just or try to deal with what is happening. I don't know if it makes sense, but anyhow, thank you all for watching. I wonder if somebody in the future is gonna find my conversation about this useful. I hope they do. If you're watching this in my YouTube channel at some point, my like 30 years into the future, like what is this random dude talking about in the middle of the night? Yeah. Anyhow, thank you all for watching. Consider subscribing, it helps me a bunch. It's completely free for you, and it's a great way to support my channel and my work. So yeah, I have a bunch of links on my website and on my profile if you want to check that out. And thank you all for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye.